Saluton, parolas Logano, kai bonvenon al Lernu kun Logano. Now, most of this lesson is review, but there are a couple new things like voli, povi, and devi. Now, these words usually come with another verb, right?
Yeah.
And they get the as, is, os, but the other verb does not.
All right.
It stays an infinitive. Mi volis mangi.
That's I wanted to eat.
Mi povas danci. Mi devas legi.
And the second new thing in this lesson is the difference between mi ŝatas and tio plaĉas al mi. They both pretty much mean I like. The difference is when you say tio plaĉas al mi, the thing that you like is the subject of the sentence. And if you say mi ŝatas tion, the thing that you like is the object of the sentence. So, tiu canto plaĉas al mi, that song is pleasing to me, or I like that song, or mi ŝatas tiun canton. Both pretty much mean the same thing. So one of the things we were talking about when we were setting up the camera was the difference between koni and scii. And you were starting to tell me what the difference was. What's the difference between those two words?
Koni is you're familiar with, like I am familiar with Esperanto,
Yeah.
and scii is I know, like I know Esperanto.
I know a fact, or you, right. So there's some examples in the lesson about those two words. One of the things that we did ahead of time, a little differently this time, is we had Logan do the lesson in advance, since it was review, and we're going to go over some of the things that we might need to work on. So you can either decide to do your lesson first and then listen to this section of the video, or maybe listen to this and then a day or a couple hours later tackle the lesson. But so here's some of the ones that Logan skipped. I told him he wasn't sure, skip it. Here's one: the pupils are young. La lernantoj estas jun. Yeah, what ending goes? We're talking about la lernantoj, and they're young. So what ending has to go on there?
A.
It's an A because it's an adjective, and because they're lernantoj, you need to get that J. Yeah, so lernantoj estas junaj. Another one is the teacher is old.
La instruisto estas malnova.
Yeah, so that's I commented on that one because malnova means the opposite of new. So you have a new teacher and you have an old teacher, like a teacher who's been around for a long time.
Yeah, but for some reason in the lesson that there was no NOV.
Yeah, because the answer is maljuna. She's an elderly teacher.
Oh.
So we've got malnova, which means she's been a teacher a long time, and maljuna, which means she's elderly.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, they technically could go both ways.
Whose book? Do you know how to say whose? This is one of those correlatives that we didn't talk about all that much.
Kion?
Yeah, kies. Kies means whose. All right. On the freeway as far as Paris. Sur la chaussée. And I'm not sure we talked about this word. This is a word that you know. I know you know this word.
Longai?
And it's gis. So we talk about gis revido. It's until or as far as. So if you go all the way up until the wall, or you go all the way up as far as the wall, it's the same word. And this way we're going on the expressway all the way until we get to Paris. Sur la chaussée gis Pariso. Vocabulary. All right, so al.
Isn't that with?
It's close. It's a preposition, and in this case it means to. Dono gin al mi. Give it to me. Right? Angluio. That was one of the words that was in the pronunciation that we kind of skipped over. It means England. A lot of country names end in UJO. Sometimes you'll see it as ending in IO, the same word. So it could be Angluyo or Anglio. It means the same thing. It's literally a container for English people. Right? If you have a friduyo, that's the container where all the coldness is. If you have a monuyo, that's where you put your money. And Angluyo is where you put all your English people. Che.
Isn't it just like chew?
Yeah, no, it means at.
Oh.
I remember when I was learning, I got mixed up with a lot of all the words, the short words with the ch sound in it. And che means at. It always reminds me of the French. I'm sure it comes from the French word. Dang poltergeist!
Isn't flower mean pink? No, that's rose colora. Isn't it purple?
Well, you're right. It's a color. We have to work on this one. It means yellow.
Oh.
Che means at or at the helm of. De. It's another very common word. It can mean of, it can mean from. It's another preposition that connects different words together. You could say, La libro estas legata de mi. The book was read by me. Here's one that'll be easy when we say it out loud. It's spelled jo, o, yo, o. And it's pronounced joyo.
Joy.
It means joy. Which reminds me, we were talking about the word sun the other day. How do you say sun?
Suno.
Suno. Yeah, he asked his sister, and his sister said, I don't think Suno's it. And so we asked the big brother, and finally he said, yeah, Suno is the right answer. And they thought that was too easy. But same thing with joyo. Means joy. Yuna.
Young.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yuna means young, and so we've got two different ways to say old that don't mean quite the same thing. Malyuna and malnova are both opposites of young and old, so elderly and been around a long time. Okay, Logan, one last thing I want to ask you about is related to the grammar review. When the girl has a cigarette, she havas...
Cigaretto.
But what's receiving the action?
Cigaretton.
She havas cigaredon. Right? So when you're paying attention, a lot of times when you're trying to write something, you get focused on the word because you're trying to find the word. But I always think if it's a verb that acts on something, you got to make sure you include that N. She havas cigaredon. All right, so that's it for today. Thanks to everybody who's sending in lessons. We've got a couple people that have been with us from the start and a few others that are doing a nice job of sort of catching up to where we are in terms of getting these filmed. Appreciate your feedback. It really does help a lot. And special thanks to Timoteo and the other patrons who are supporting us on Patreon. It's a real encouragement. Nice to see some new people signing on, and appreciate your support. So until next time.
Gis revido.
Gis la revido. Ah! I'm sure it comes from the French word. Dang poltergeist! Oops, I taped that out of the wrong thing. Gosh, dingy dang it. Can't get a good help these days. Say gis parizo.
I just didn't think that it was because G's went by.
Yeah, it comes from, we talked about this in another lesson, it's gis revido, which means until we see you again.